Hey guys, it's AD.VideoEditor here today, and I'll be going over some panning and cropping in Sony Vegas. So let's go ahead and open it up. And to demonstrate, I will be using a text layer, so go ahead and create a new text. And once you have that set up, if you take a look at your text, there will be three icons on the right side. And what we're going to want to do is click the middle one, and if you just hover over it, you'll see it says Event Pan and Crop. So let's click on that, and now this appears. And now this may look a little weird. I'm just going to zoom out by using the scroll wheel on my mouse, and it sort of you see this box here with a bunch of different points on it inside of a circle here. And I'll be explaining everything, so don't worry. So if I go to one of these corners and sort of just move everything around. If you take a look at my video preview, if I make it go bigger, the text gets smaller, and if I go smaller, the text gets bigger. Keep in mind that the edges of this, you see how the edges of the box are the edges of the screen. So if let's say, as you see, I make the box smaller, the letters outside the box are cut out from the screen. But if they're bigger, everything's in it. And it's a little confusing, but just remember, bigger the box, the smaller the text. Smaller the box, the bigger the text. And not only can you change the size with just using the clicking one of the corners and using your mouse, but if you go over here, under the Position tab, you can change everything you can change all that. So you can make the width whatever you want. Let's say I'll make it at 1000. The height automatically changes to that. And something else you can do without changing the size is you can move it around. If you go anywhere, move your mouse anywhere in this side of this box, you get those 4 arrows that appear. And then if you click and move around, that the box moves around along with whatever's in it. And like I said before, whatever is inside the box, you view. Whatever is outside is not there. So when I move this box more and let the A in, the stuff on the right side, you see that are cut out right over there. Half the D, the ITOR are cut out. But if I move it over, I can get everything in. And you can also change the position of it by adjusting the X center and the Y center. So let's say if I make the X 1000, moves over there, make the Y 400, moves down a little bit. And so it's just easy with the numbers if you need something very exact. And as you noticed when I was changing the size, let's say with the numbers, if I set the width to something 900, the height automatically changes with that. And you might not want that for the purpose of making your video. So what you can do, what happens is that we have these two, you see the lock aspect ratio and the size about center buttons clicked. And what they do with the lock aspect ratio, pretty much, it does what it says it does. It locks the aspect ratio. So no matter how much I move it, whichever side, the aspect ratio stays the same. So let's say I unclick that, and I move it around. Now I can adjust it whatever I want. And let's say I want the width to be 800. The height doesn't automatically change, and I can make the height, let's say, 600. And something else, what this other one is, size about center, it's basically whenever I move one of the arrows, the point of origin is always in the center of it. So if I unclick that and I move one of these arrows, it sort of everything moves except the opposite arrow. So for me, the opposite top left is the bottom right. So when I move that, everything is around the bottom right. If I move the top right, everything's around the bottom left. And it sort of just goes like that. And the last thing I'm going to be going over is what this whole circle is. The circle is the rotation of what's in it. So let's say if I hover over the circle, you'll see I get this new cursor. It's sort of like a line with circular line with an arrow at the end. And if I simply click it and move my mouse, it rotates whatever is in it. So that's how you can easily rotate something. You can also go under the rotation tab and change the angle to whatever you want for the rotation. And no matter the bigger number, there's always only like 360 angles you can really be at. So the higher the number, the number doesn't really matter until you get into some more advanced techniques, which I will explain in just a second. But for right, if you just want it to be at a still angle the whole time, I suggest just using the cursor and move it around the way you want it. I will now explain what the purpose of having all these angles is for. So let's go back to my last keyframing tutorial. Let's say I wanted to start off here at 0, and by the end, let me just delete that keyframe, I want it to rotate a bunch of times, not just one. So instead of going here and just turning it over once, you see, if I go ahead and play it, you see, it just rotates once. What I can do, if I make this number even bigger, let's say like 1000, it'll rotate multiple times until it gets to that keyframe. So the angle is only if you need a rotation when it's playing the video, but if you don't, then don't work with keyframes here. Just start it at 0 and keep it at a certain angle the whole time. Okay guys, thanks for watching this panning and cropping tutorial, and please subscribe, please like, please comment, please watch some more video tutorials that I'm making soon. And if you have any questions, comments, complaints, you want to see me show you some cool effects, feel free to email me at ad.videoeditor@gmail.com. That is an A, a D, a period, a VIDEOEDITOR@gmail.com. Thanks for watching, guys.